The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its sponsors.
With so many people living longer, the fear of outliving your money becomes a reality for many of us. Will I be a financial burden? Will I outlive my money? How will I be remembered? My name is Neil Himmelstein, president of Main Street Planning Group. Please contact me by visiting mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. I will introduce you to strategies that will guarantee you will not outlive your money, that can guarantee you will not be a burden on your loved ones. Through a collaborative approach, we will uncover solutions that offer tax-efficient strategies, lifetime income, and legacy planning, choice, organization, direction, and education. That is the code we stand behind. Contact mainstreetplanninggroup.com. That's mainstreetplanninggroup.com, or call 631-647-4694. And listen to me every Friday at 3 p.m. as I host the Main Street Code for Financial Success, right here on 103.9 LI News Radio. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein, and we help hundreds of advisors across the United States with insurance needs, life insurance, disability, long-term care, and fixed annuities. And we can be reached by 631-647-4694 or the mainstreetcode.com. We offer unique strategies and solutions to your problems, and you can reach out to us and we can discuss whatever your needs or questions are. And when we talk about our code, we talk about choice, because we offer a variety of product, over 30 different insurance companies, organization, getting all your stuff together in one place and making sure that your plan works, direction, and education on getting it all together. And that's what our code is all about. Last week, we spoke about the banks and the Fed and the interest rates, and things seem to be settling down a little bit. The banks were a big worry, and they still might be a worry, and we're getting a lot of calls about people that are concerned about, where do I keep my safe money? How can I keep it protected? And we offer a product called Annuities, which gives you some tremendous protection. We offer life insurance, which is another great product line that we offer that can protect your money. And there's many, many benefits as opposed to a bank. One is the annuity rates are up over 5% right now, and we feel that these rates will be going down shortly. But why would they be going down when the Fed keeps raising rates? Well, while the Fed has been raising rates, in the recent weeks, the treasuries are taking a big hit. The treasury yields are going down. And why is that important? Well, what happens to secure your money in an insurance contract is they have to buy a good bit of U.S. treasuries, as does a lot of the safe money out there. So as the price of the treasuries go up, the yield or return goes down. And that's what backs up all of your money inside an insurance contract. Now, banks have FDIC insurance. There's been a lot of discussion with Signature Bank and SVB Bank about they'll cover up to $250. But what do insurance companies cover? Well, insurance companies are backed, particularly when you buy life insurance or annuities, and soon to be health insurance, they're backed by mostly government bonds and very safe, secure stuff. In other words, insurance companies have to keep in reserve $1.08 for every dollar you put in, unlike a bank. A bank only keeps 8 cents of what you put in, and they take the other 92% and they loan it out. They loan it out to credit cards, they loan it out to mortgages. They could be making 50, 60, 70% on your money and give you a return of maybe 3 or 4%. And that return you're getting from a bank is also taxable. Every year you have to pay tax on whatever gain you get from a bank. Not so in an insurance company. Not so in an annuity. Not so in a life insurance contract. Because whatever you put into one of these contracts it's tax deferred. It also gives you a great deal of credit shelter when you put it into a life insurance, and annuities have some protection as well from creditors. So a lot of people that come into money or have a lot of money or put it on the side are putting their money into life insurance and annuities. Now, the annuities grow tax deferred, which means your money compounds every year without any taxation going on. Unlike a CD where it's taxed every year or a bank account. And what we found in the last several months is your short-term rates were actually higher than your long-term rates. And that all has to do with yields. So even though the Fed rate went way up, some of your short-term rates were very good. In a bank even, like 6-month rates and 3-year rates. But the longer you said you were going to commit your money, the lower the rate they were going to give you. And that is of concern because you may be running after a short rate, but what are you going to do in 6 months or a year when that rate isn't there anymore? And again, that rate is not predicated on the Fed rate per se, even though the Fed rate and inflation are running rampant. A lot of it's based on treasuries and yields. So there's a lot of things that go into the money you make. It's certainly, you have to protect your money from taxation so that it can last for your lifetime. So this morning we had earlier this week with David Levenstein, I was on his show, we had a very lively discussion is, what if I have a large sum of money and I put it into a life insurance contract? And we talked about something called a modified endowment contract, which a lot of people don't talk about. And a modified endowment contract is simply utilizing the protections of the life insurance. It will still give you a tax-free death benefit, but what we do is we overfund the life insurance tremendously so that we can have growth inside the protection and tax deferral of a life insurance and have a tax-free death benefit. And it may not be as liquid as a money market or something else, but you do get lots of protection. Or you can do an annuity, which there's no cost to it. There's no cost of buying an insurance policy inside an annuity. It's just pure growth. But there may be some taxation later on the growth. Not as it's deferring, but when you use that money, you'll have to pay tax on your gain. Only on your gain, not your investment. Unlike an IRA or 401k or those type of investments where you did pre-tax dollars, but when they come out, it's all taxable to you. So we use annuities and life insurance for planning all the time for your money. Now let's talk a little bit more about life insurance and go into some nitty-gritty details. What type of life insurance do you want to buy? But what about the company? What is the strength of the company? How do you know that you're picking a good company? Well, here's the problem with life insurance in today's market. A lot of people are trying to buy online and this and that, and there's a big problem there. So if you go to an online company, one of these 1-800 buy life insurance, you really don't know what you're getting. The problem is their rating system for life insurance is who has the best ratings or who has the cheapest price. So they go price. It's not all about price. There's a lot of benefits that you can have. And I think service is a big thing too. So you want an insurance company that has good ratings, S&P, AM Best, or ratings companies that you want A or better, or Moody's, AA or AAA ratings is very important. That only shows the financial strength. Very key element. Price is another key element. But what I think is the biggest element is service. And you say, well, why do I need service if I'm buying life insurance? Well, there's many things that go on in your life. And you're like, what if I want to change the beneficiary? What if I want to borrow money? What if I want to do something? Do you want to get on the phone with an 800 number and sit there for 45 minutes? And hopefully somebody will pick up, hopefully somebody in the United States that can talk English and go through it with you? Or do you want to go with a company that you call that 800 number and somebody picks up the phone and gives you clear direction. That's the kind of companies I like to work with and only work with. Not only do they have to have good ratings, they have to have good service. And good service means people that can help you. And when you deal with me, you're dealing with me. You're not dealing with an 800 number when you need service. You need a real live person to help you if you need money from your contract, if you need to process a claim, if you need to change a beneficiary. Service is the key element here. This is why you use somebody like myself to help you, or some of my agents to help you with your buying decisions. You're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I'm here every Friday at 3 o'clock. I can also be heard on Spotify and Apple if you happen to miss our broadcast. And we're going to be right back after a commercial. If you need to call me, 631-647-4694. We'll be right back then. Welcome back to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. You can always give me a call at 631-647-4694. Last week, I've got several calls over what we were talking about. And one of the things we were talking about is the difference between insurance companies. How do I know I'm getting the right company? I actually had a wholesaler call me after hearing my show and say, hey, I like that because people don't understand that they need a good company. So before the break, we were talking about the financial strength of a company. We want to know that company's got good financial strength. Very important. It's got to be A-rated or better. And, you know, if you're calling on the phone, it could be a good rated company, it could be a bad rated company. You need to know that the company has other provisions that suit what you're looking for, whether you want to convert the policy later on, whether you just want to buy term for now. But life changes. You might need to change a beneficiary, or you need to take money out of it. So you need a company that's going to give you good service. Somebody that you can pick up and call on the phone, or if you have a death claim or a disability claim, that you need to pick up the phone and not only get a hold of your agent, but you also need to get a hold of the company and get service. And you know, some of these companies, you call them up and it's 45 minutes waiting on the phone just to get somebody. And they're not even from this country, half of them. They have call centers all over the world. And that's very frustrating. So that's something very important. Another reason you want to buy from us and not buy from these online people. A, they don't know you. B, they're working with AI, or what we call artificial intelligence, has seeped into the insurance world. So these fintech companies that are doing artificial intelligence, when you call up to buy an insurance policy, you say, oh, we can get it to you tomorrow. Well, here's the problem, okay? They look at artificial intelligence. So they see something through what they call a medical information board, it's something wrong with your heart, and they say, okay, declined. But you know, you may have a slight issue. We all have little issues. But they'll just decline it. And all of a sudden, you can't get underwritten because nobody really talked to you and about your situation. And what we do when we do life insurance is we do what's called a cover letter. Just like going to a college. We put a cover letter together to talk about you. And we get decisions that these online people cannot get. Because we take care of you. I'll give you a couple examples. Last year, we had a gentleman, 72 years old. He had a PSA score. For those of you that are older and ever know what the PSA is, a level that they take, a blood level, that they measure whether you have prostate cancer. Typically over 4.0, an underwriter who doesn't know who you are, who looks at it, says you have cancer, you're a decline. We had a client that came in with a PSA score of 10.6. 10.6. Companies before us declined him. We got him preferred non-smoker. We got him a tremendous rate for $3 million of coverage. How did we do it? What's the differentiating factor? Well, we found out through discovery and talking to the client that he sold horseback riding equipment and he went horseback riding 5 times a week. I happen to know that that could affect your prostate and create high levels. I had one insurance company that I gave that explanation to, and they ran a special test and said, Neil, you're right. This guy's perfectly healthy. Now, he could have gone on and gotten no insurance and gone on with his life and had no insurance. But we were able to get him $3 million of coverage at the best rate because we knew the best company to go to who was going to do a special test that no other insurance company did or would listen to, because we take pride in knowing our client. You buy online, they don't know you from Adam. They work by numbers. They work by next. So 2 problems with that. 1, you may not get the coverage you want. 2, you will get 0 service. Who do you call when you finally get that policy and you need to change a beneficiary? You need to change. Who was that guy on the phone? Oh, yeah, he worked here last year. He was in nowhere. No backup. No nothing. How can you buy the most important thing in your life and not have warranties and backups and service and people and helping you? We had another case last year where a gentleman was bipolar and was declined for many years for insurance, and he purchased $60 million of coverage through my firm. And we did a very extensive background on him and did a very detailed explanation to the underwriters of 2 different insurance companies that offered him coverage who never offered him coverage in the past. We were talking about a gentleman who's taking a lot of medication, extremely successful, okay, but taking a lot of medication with kind of a scary background, and we got him the coverage. And why did we get him the coverage? Because we take care of our clients. When they call us with a specific need, we know how to get it done, and that's why we have agents all over the country who place business with us. Why use us when they can just go to a company? Now, most agents don't know what we know at Main Street Planning Group. They just don't. They weren't trained to understand how to underwrite a case and how to position a client to get him the best offer. That's important. And then on the service end, there's nobody better. So service, getting the best offers is a key element, and knowing what companies, the right companies, not just the companies that are going to underwrite you, but they're going to underwrite you, they have good financials, and they're going to service you. There's going to be somebody to talk to. That's so important, and why you buy from professionals that are going to help you and not buy online. It's not a commodity. Life insurance is not a commodity. Every policy has differences. You buy online, you get garbage. Just like I tell people, they're trying to have you do your own will. Do you know how detrimental that is if you do your own will? I mean, if it's not notarized correctly, if it's not filed correctly, your wishes are not going to be put together correctly. So I highly recommend that if you're doing any planning whatsoever, that you have an attorney who knows how to do a will, who asks the right questions, who you bring the right information to. You got to do that will properly. You got to buy your insurance properly. And of course, you want your investments to be done properly. And all of that works together in a financial plan. It's like the 3-headed monster. There's really a 4th head, and that's your accountant. All these things have to jive, and we pride ourselves in being a quarterback for you to help put all these 4 things together. So that's how we do at Main Street Planning Group, and we look forward to helping you. So again, life insurance is a very specialized product that you need specialized experts to help you A, get underwritten, B, service, and P and C, make sure your claims are paid and processed in an appropriate time. All very important. Now, we talk about annuities a lot. We've been talking about annuities because the annuity business is absolutely insane right now. Because people that have money are nervous about the market, they're a little shaky about the banks, and they want the best return they can for their safe money. And when I tell you that we're offering guaranteed over 5% and pay no taxes on it until you use the money, It cannot be beaten today, and it's not going to be around forever. Okay? It's just not. The Treasury yields are going down. This is an anomaly. I hate to say get it while it lasts, but get it while it's lasts. It's really critical that if you have safe money, if you're retired or near retirement, with some of your money, not all of it, you should really consider annuities right now. Paying great rates. And you're listening to the Main Street Code for Financial Success. I'm your host, Neil Himmelstein. I'm here every Friday at 3 o'clock. I can always be reached at 631-647-4694. I have copies of all my broadcasts on Apple or Spotify if you happen to miss me. And I'm always available for questions. And you could see me at my website, themainstreetplanninggroup.com. And I'm here to help folks. So give me a ring and let me know what your needs are. And have a terrific weekend.
The views and opinions expressed on this program are not necessarily those of this station, JVC Broadcasting Management, or its